mean, you've started a meditation group with a cancer support group in the hospital with your doctor in Singapore, which is quite a unusual outcome. But so, and I think this very interview we're doing is a sign that, you know, although this is a deeply personal journey you and Peter and the family and your friends are going through, you've also sensed that that there is a way for you to serve others, or to be open to others in a way that is entirely natural to the experience that you're having, and that it just grows out of it, it seems to me. So you're helping others to learn to meditate in times of great stress, and people who have not had previous experience of it and who are therefore going to feel a little nervous about meditation, and is it going to make me feel better, is it going to take the cancer away, is it going to... how would you advise people who are learning to meditate for the first time in the immediate experience of cancer? How would you advise them to... what expectations do you think they should have? How would you advise them to find the right support they need to do it?
Well, first of all, I think once you are diagnosed with a serious illness, you need a spiritual anchor to keep you steady, because you can no longer depend on the world, you know, on yourself. So prayer life is definitely a must. You know, you just have to have some daily practice that keeps you anchored. You know, you just can't have people coming to pray with you once a week or whatever. You know, that's not good enough. You must have your own spiritual strength. So I would encourage them to start practicing right away, and to tell them that meditating and using the prayer word will help them to keep their mind off their illness, well, at least for these 2 periods in the day when they practice it, you know, and later to like I do, to use it during the day, to practice using it during the day to divert your mind from your worrisome thoughts, which all of them have. I know for a fact that they all keep worrying, you know, or focusing on their pain. You know, like you have a painful part of the body, and you keep thinking about it until it becomes overwhelming, and then some other pain develops somewhere else which was not there before, and then you start imagining and your heart starts pounding and you think you're dying, you know, the next minute. But if you can divert that trend of thought, you know, by using the prayer word or actually sitting down for your meditation, it will help tremendously. And then later you find that the pain wasn't so bad after all, and you've passed through that short crisis period, you know.
When we started the meditation group at Gleneagles Hospital, and I was invited by Patricia to introduce the teaching to cancer patients, to their caregivers, and to the doctors. It required me to reflect on how meditation could be helpful to these groups of people. And my limited experience so far is that I think the practice of meditation will help the cancer patient to come to a state of stillness, of calmness, and to the extent that you know, the body and the mind are part of the human person, an integrated part of the human person. I think the practice of meditation will dispose the cancer patient physically to the treatment that he or she is receiving. But more importantly, I think the practice of meditation is about coming into a relationship with God. And a person undergoing a serious illness will want to find peace. And I think ultimately that peace can only be found in a relationship with God. And so I feel that in addition to the possible therapeutic value of meditation in terms of the treatment, I think more importantly, it brings about a healing, a restoration, you might say, of one's relationship with God. And if that can be cultivated at this critical moment of one's life, it will lead us to a peace. It will help us to perhaps transcend the anxiety and the suffering. And so, regardless of whether meditation can help bring about a cure, I think we can be confident that those who we teach meditation and who can practice it as a discipline, that you will bring about a healing. And so not everyone can be cured of a disease. We don't understand why. But we can be assured that everyone can be healed.
So, I mean, a very important part of any healing process is the relationship with the doctor, and you have a good relationship with your doctor, who's also a woman of faith,
Yes.
of a different church from yours, but a strong faith.
Mm-hmm.
And she expressed an interest in your practice of meditation, and that got her interested in it. And so it was actually her idea, was it, to start the meditation group for cancer patients in the hospital?
Yes, it was her idea. She had actually been observing both of us over the past year, and she started asking us about our prayer life, and we told her about how we prayed, sitting quietly for meditation twice a day. And after meeting you over Chinese New Year, I think she became more confident that this way of prayer must have been what has been our stabilizing force over the year. And she said, well, it'd be a good idea to introduce it to the cancer patients, because they need a daily practice to keep them steady along this, keep themselves steady while they are receiving treatment, because she has so many patients who come in and they're so depressed or distressed after hearing about their condition, and sometimes she tries to organize prayer groups to pray over them, but the energy that they get is just like once, and it can't be sustained, and they're back to their old scared self, and she's seen us coming in for the year and we are still okay. So she said, well, to start a group, we'll give you a room and do it in the hospital so that the patients and the caregivers can come. And originally I thought, no, I'm not strong enough, I'm still receiving treatment. But some members of my community in Singapore volunteered to help me, and so we started our first group about a month ago in the hospital. And on our very first meeting, we had 40 people came. Half were patients and half were probably caregivers, and they've been coming regularly. And so we feel that there is really a need for such a group in the hospital grounds. Yeah, and of course Peter has been the teacher of the practice, and I would come in after the meditation to share how this practice has helped me to cope with the illness. And I find it good, because I'm giving and they are also returning their feedback to me.
Good, that's good. I think that's good. And the meditation group meets in the hospital?
In the
At
hospital
what
every
time?
week
What time?
at 2 o'clock on Saturdays. And the meeting is usually an hour or just slightly over.
And how does it run, Peter? How does it actually run?
Well, our meditation group at Glen Eagles would normally start with the teaching on meditation, because it's essentially the same teaching, whether it's for cancer patients or for prisoners or for school teachers or for people of prayer. It is the same essential teaching on meditation, and so we don't have to sort of custom-made it for people who are suffering from cancer. So I would give the basic teaching and explain to people how we meditate, why we meditate, and to be able to explain to them that we are teaching this from the Christian perspective, because that is what we have been practicing. And then we would enter into a period of meditation for 20 minutes, and after the meditation, as Patricia said, she would spend a moment to read the scriptures to the group, and she will to share with the group out of her own experience. Not all the group members are cancer patients. I think quite a number of them are caregivers, and some of these caregivers attend the group without the patients, because perhaps the patients are not yet ready to come or are not able to come. But some of these caregivers say that they want to learn meditation, so that when they go home to care for the patient, they could teach the patient how to meditate. And I have found in the last 1 year as Patricia's caregiver how I, as a caregiver, have benefited so much from entering into her experience. I mean, it is her experience, but as the caregiver who is spending a lot of time with her and being very close to her, entering into the experience together, I think, will help both the patient and the caregiver to experience the transformation that is taking place, from despair and panic to faith, peace, and hope. It will also help us to be more present to the patient, to sort of be able to enter into the mind of the patient by sharing those times of prayer together. So I feel that ideally we want to have a situation where the caregiver is meditating with the patient.